as I've been looking through around the room today, I've been really happy to see how many distinguished speakers there are, how many colleagues and guests are all here to talk about the topic of pain, a topic that I'm a little too familiar with, actually, because pain is an invisible illness and we don't know what's going on, and everyone's moving so effortlessly and so freely today. So it could be, anyone could be experiencing pain. So I'm honored here to share my experience and my journey with Amplified Musculoskeletal Pain Syndrome, which is basically a very wordy and very less scary way of saying my diagnosis, which is juvenile fibromyalgia, which I was diagnosed with at the age of 13. So maybe a little recap about my entire life. So I've always been a super active girl doing every single sport out there, but from a young age, I realized that I was experiencing some pain. I thought that it might be related to growing because I am relatively tall. So I was always told by my parents, oh, it must be just growing pains. But as I got older, about like the age of 12, I would say, I started realizing that this pain was getting worse and worse. Simple tasks that I was doing, like walking, was causing me pain, and I'd get injuries, well, so I thought injuries from it. Catching balls in sports class, just writing too. And every single time I'd go to the ER and I'd get it checked out, there was nothing physically wrong, or sometimes they would invent that there was something wrong, like that I broke my arm, for instance, when in actuality I did not. So I had a cast on for about a month and then realized that my arm was actually hurting more than it did before. So my elbow pain, for example, radiated to my wrist, to my hand, and then also radiated to my shoulder, my back, and it was just every single injury just started adding up one after the next, and I didn't know what to do anymore. At the ER, I was going probably like once a week, and everyone started to recognize me there too. And so as you could imagine, as a young kid, 13, I didn't know what was going on. All I could just hope for is that this pain would go away, that somehow, by some miracle, I'd get some answers from it. And I just thought that I was going crazy at a point, because I went from one day from being able to do anything and everything as a normal kid to not being able to do anything. I was crawling to the washroom because I couldn't walk anymore. I needed help to do simple things like just holding onto a fork. I wasn't even holding onto it properly. And I wasn't going to school either because I just couldn't do anything. So I missed most of my grade 8 and only attended about 2 months of school that year. And I was in the lycée system, so of course it's a rigorous system, and I don't know how I passed, but I did thanks to my brother guiding me through everything. So even when I did go to school, I would fake my way through everything. So I would seem extremely happy, super jolly, but in reality, I was suffering internally. And so that was a good way, a good distraction technique for me. But at the same time, it was also misleading because teachers, friends, everyone just thought that I was faking through my illness and would all the time actually ask me, are you sure you have pain? Are you sure that you're not just missing school because you feel like missing school and getting away with good marks? Which I said, no, why would I want to? And even my school bag, I didn't want to bring my school bag at a point because my back was hurting so much, but I didn't want to stand out or stick out in the crowd. So what I did was that my bag was always empty. So I'd go to class and I'd be like, I don't have any of the school books. So I was finally diagnosed at the Children's with pain, and I had an entire team. So there were doctors who gave me medication for the pain, and I was on so many meds at that point, and with so many side effects too. I got nerve blocks, which did not really help. And also I was seeing a physiotherapist to learn how to walk again, because I had not walked in such a long time, and I didn't know how to start because every step, every movement was causing me pain. Just the weight of my body was hurting me. And then with the psychologist, I was trying to figure out what was causing this pain. Was it related to stress? Was it related to something going on in my life? And every time that those questions were asked to me, I basically just said, no, nothing's going on. I'm living a perfectly good life. I just want this pain to be gone and for me to live a normal life again. But through all this, I always had family support. My parents were always there trying to figure out what was going on, and they were as lost as me. But they were always so positive, trying to guide me through all of this. And my mom one day, she asked me, do you know what stress is? That was really, I think, a question that I didn't know how to answer, because when I was 13, I just thought that stress was stress. A big event happens and then you feel stress. But then my mom had to describe to me that stress was basically something new, something different that I experienced every day. So it could be going to school again after a weekend. That's a stressor. It's not a stressor for anyone else, but for me, it could be a stressor. Eating different food could be a stressor. And so I started to think of that and tried to figure out if that was something that was causing me pain. And sure enough, it was that. Any basic thing that was going on in my life was a stressor to me, and it was causing me more and more pain. And I had been in this vicious circle of pain for all this time that even the smallest thing that was different in my life caused me to have more pain. So after figuring that out, I slowly had to discover my own toolbox. So my toolbox of what worked for me to manage my pain. And this toolbox had to be customized to what worked best for me. And so I think that what worked best for me was, first of all, pushing through pain. So most of you might think, what is pushing through pain? It doesn't sound like something that normal people would do, but basically, there's nothing physically wrong with me. Like my fingers, when they hurt, it wasn't because of something drastic. I didn't bend it or twist it in a way where I should have an injury. It was more of my nerves going crazy and sending fake pain signals to a certain part of my body. So I had to teach myself, reteach myself that there's nothing wrong. Look at my finger, look at my arm and all that, and tell myself there's nothing wrong. I'm able to move, and let me try moving. So I tried moving slowly but surely. I was doing little things around the house. But in the summer, my mom decided, hey, we should start doing a bit more exercise, because I was getting better. And so she decided, let's start doing some renovations. So I've always been really active, so renovating was something that I had done in the past. So I restarted doing that. During that summer, I redid my front porch, and sure enough, I was able to do everything. In the morning, I'd wake up, I'd feel the pain, and then by the end of the day, I was the most active person out there, and you wouldn't think that I even had any pain. Then I also did other renovation projects, like redoing my kitchen. That was this summer. And then my latest one was redoing my bathroom. So just trying to stay active and disconnecting from my pain, and trying to tell myself that I'm able to do anything and there's physically nothing wrong with me. Also, I discovered that compression stockings were very helpful in managing my pain, that a proper diet, less sugar, less carbs, was beneficial to me, but I do have a few cheat meals from time to time, but at least it's well managed. And also the biggest one was distraction for me. Distraction really helped me to manage my pain, and distraction could be seen in so many different ways, not only in what we saw today, like virtual reality, but also just me pretending to be very social and trying to distract myself from what I was experiencing was one of them. Also cold and heat packs too could be ways. So today I'm a U2 BNI student, so I'm a nurse, and I'm continuing my school at the Ingram School of Nursing at McGill. And I've grown up with the challenges of chronic pain, and I've overcome all the isolating, frustrating, and hopeless feelings that I've had. And I've used all the tools in my toolbox to manage the pain, and nowadays I basically live a normal life. The pain is in the background most days. It's an annoyance rather than a burden for me. And I'm able to manage it in ways that I've never been able to before. And through all these ways, there are still so many possibilities, and every single day I'm learning something new about my pain. And I think that today I've seen that virtual reality is one thing that could really help patients. And so I was able to look around. I saw all the nice posters and the booths, and I was able to experiment virtual reality, which is crazy, by the way. And what everyone is doing for the kids with pain is so encouraging. From my personal experience, I understand that pain is super subjective and multifaceted, and it's an approach that needs to be seen as holistic, that patients, it needs to be optimized to the patients and both help with their physical pain and also the emotional pain that comes with it, like all the anxiety with the process, and just taking all that into account to help the patients feel the best that they could. So today has raised awareness on what pain is and how we could manage it through distraction as one of the techniques, and showcasing virtual reality therapy is amongst one of them. So I just want to thank everyone for listening. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being so kind and incredibly brave to these brave young kids who have been living with chronic pain, and for trying to help them thrive despite the challenges that chronic pain could bring. Thank you.
Don't leave yet. I would like to thank you very, very much for coming. If you did get a chance to fill out those surveys, I will compile, process. However, most welcome to email me for comments, for desires of next step, what you would like for the booths. Please send me your website links, everything. We'll see. If with your permission, we'll add them to the website to broaden the community so everybody know who everybody is. You're welcome to tell me what you want me to do for the next step. But in the meantime, I'll process the information I've received so far, and we'll do something again. From what I'm hearing, people liked it. They like more of it, and now it's a matter of finding how. Alab also gave me my laundry list of things that I have to do now for the hospital, and to make sure it's available for every kid across Quebec. So thank you very much for coming, and bon weekend, and bel été, and we'll see you maybe, I don't know, fall, early winter maybe. How's that? Okay? Thank you.